Why do they make the same movies all the time? Because there's approved narrative messaging that's gone generation to generation to generation.
But they're not even doing it well anymore. They're taking that same old amazing narrative and they're making it woke.
They don't care because the programming, it's embedded in your subconscious when you watch it. They don't care.
Welcome to Going Rogue with Lara Logan. I have way too many directors on set with me right now. I got my esteemed co-host Luke Coffey. Luke?
Thank you, Laura. Yeah.
Yes. And the amazing, incomparable, formidable Mike Smith, director of Out of Shadows and Into the Light, to name two of your most important films.
So.
With P. Diddy in the news right now, this was the perfect moment to talk to you, Mike, because you had an amazing career in Hollywood, one of the top stuntmen in a business that is as dangerous as it is ruthless, right?
It's pretty cutthroat.
Yeah, pretty cutthroat. So Mike conquered Hollywood in many respects, moving from stuntman to action director to actual, directing your own movies. But you did something, you changed the world, actually. And I'm not saying that because you're my friend, which you are. My very good friend, but you're here right now. You're sitting here and I'm talking to you because you changed the world.
Well, I give that to God, and I give that journey completely back to God. I would love to say I'm some brilliant director, but if it wasn't for Christ coming into my life and God changing me, I would have never made the choices I made to sacrifice my career to expose what I believe to be the truth. And you brought up the Diddy trial.
Right. Before we go into that, I just want to tell people, what was that truth that you exposed?
Well, I exposed the Mockingbird media. I made in Out of Shadows. It was a film. It was kind of a story of my awakening as I walked through the process, because it's very hard for people to come to the terms of you're being manipulated and you don't really quite realize it. You sometimes kind of sense it, but you don't really know. And when I started putting 2 and 2 and 3 together, I was like, okay, I'm not going to tell you what to think about this, but I want to show you something so that you can make your own decision. Operation Mockingbird is very real. It's you can find many documents, many articles written on it. Operation Paperclip is very real. MK Ultra is very real. Human trafficking is very real. Satanic ritual abuse is very real. Those are some tough topics. All of those topics are very tough and could be a movie all in themselves. So when I sat down to make Out of Shadows, it was challenging because there were so many things to talk about that are uncomfortable and that make people, because when people can't quite grasp something, they just turn it off because we're conditioned now that it's too much. I don't want to, I'll move on to the...
Yeah, we don't want to face conflict. We don't want to face disagreement. We don't want to, anything that's difficult to digest, run and hide.
Exactly. And so when I put Out of Shadows, that was 5 years ago. We put it out on 4/10/20, which was actually, there's this backstory behind that because I didn't know when to put it out. And I was praying about it. And I told you before we got on set that I was like, God, I don't know when to put this movie out. And I was out in the field praying and I kept hearing this number 4/10. And I'm like, what is he trying to get me to get a shotgun or something? Like I didn't know what 4/10 meant. And then I walked in the house, I looked at the calendar, I opened it up, went to April 4/10, and it said Good Friday. And I had been struggling with when to release the film for a long time. And then I called up my editor, my senior editor, and I said, hey, we're putting this film out on Good Friday. That's what I feel like God's telling me to do.
The most important action that you can take today is to protect your family's future from cybercriminals and online predators. And the one app to do it is BUNKR. BUNKR is developed by experts with 25 years of experience catching criminals and fighting cybercrime. They created BUNKR to protect their own family, and now they're sharing it with you. So what do you get with a BUNKR family plan? Well, you get a private messenger to share messages and photos and files with your spouse and your children, and connecting only with people you approve of. No spam, no surveillance, and no imposters, ever. And you get a password manager to safeguard your family's online accounts, including financial, shopping, streaming, and social media. Plus, you get a vault that will securely store your family's wedding photos, baby pictures, special memories, financial information, IDs, birth certificates, passports, tax documents, wills, trusts, and insurance. Basically, everything that matters to you. So go to their website, bunkr.life/Lara. That's bunkr.life/Lara, and use code LARA, Lara, for 25% off your family plan today. And one thing I just have to say for people, because not everybody's seen Out of Shadows, although millions and millions of people have seen it, it is still one of the most banned movies of all time. And essentially, it's because through your personal journey, you expose the Satanism that was all around you in Hollywood, that other people, you read about it online, you hear about it, people talk about it, they make memes about it. Everybody has some sense of what they think about it, but you actually witnessed this.
I was surrounded by it. I mean, look, it's real tough. Like I say in Out of Shadows, not everybody's evil. Not everybody's bad. But there are a group of people that have a lot of influence and a lot of money and a lot of power. They make a lot of the decisions that are made in Hollywood that are satanic, that are what I would call evil. And when I became a Christian, I literally had to make a choice. Am I really a Christian? Because I tried to pretend like I didn't believe some of the stuff that I believed to be true. I was like, well, I kept trying to go to work and I'd see things or I'd hear things or I'd be around things. And I'm like, and I don't know. There's this part of me that I'm not, I wasn't too hard to talk into to doing some crazy stuff sometimes. So I was like, if I'm really committed to being a Christian, if I'm really committed to God and Jesus, I can't serve the dark. And if I truly believe what I believe, then I have to expose it. And
okay, so I just want to be clear here. When you say I'm pretty good at talking into doing some crazy things, you're not talking about Sean Combs freak parties. You're talking about as a stuntman, right? I mean, crashing cars into walls, jumping off buildings, going under water,
getting hit by cars, getting thrown downstairs, out windows.
Yeah. I mean, you're talking about like real crazy stuff that, that most people wouldn't even in their wildest dreams imagine doing. Yeah. But you're not talking about dark, evil, satanic things.
No, not at all. I'm saying in my job, most people don't go to work with the consequences of possible death. Like most people make the wrong sales purchase order and they get a 2-day return. Like when I would go to work, some days you're chancing death. Some days, or you're at least as a coordinator, it might not be me. It might be one of my guys or girls.
Right. So you have that life in your hands.
Yeah. And I'm responsible for the actors, for the set, for the people, the safety. And it's a big responsibility, but, through calculated risk or calculated, equations, you will come up with the safety protocol or whatever, to do what's being asked in the physical world. That's a lot of people don't want to do that. A lot of people like look down 100-foot drop and we're like,
yeah, that'd be me. I don't want to do that.
The funny thing is I'm actually, I was a diver, like springboard and platform diver. I dove at Auburn University and been in martial arts since I was like 8 years old. And I grew up on horses and I grew up riding motocross and I was a pole vaulter and I pretty much did every sport. Football player in Texas. I was
wow.
That was what I did. I was born to be a stuntman. Like that was like that was the easiest job in the world for me. And then it was because I never saw myself plugging into like a career. I I had the greatest job in the world as a young man because I got to go to work every day and do something different. I didn't know a lot of times I'd go to work and be like, what are we doing today? Oh, well, you're going to get hit by this car, or you're going to jump out of this window and land on the, and it was a different set of problems every day to figure out.
I got to say, Mike, most people would run screaming in the opposite direction.
You'd be surprised at how many people would like to do that job, though.
Really?
Oh, well, that's how, it's funny. I know all the, like Special Forces guys, Navy SEAL guys. What do you think they want to do when they come out of the military? They want to work in the movies. And what do they want to do?
It's
Run around, do stunts, like fast rope out of a helicopter, parachute,
But you were, in fairness, right? You were not your average stunt guy. You were one of the top guys.
I did pretty good.
And you worked at that.
Yeah, well, I got to be, it was cool. I got to be James Bond. Like, there's not very many Americans that have ever got to be James Bond.
No.
And I got to be Batman. And it was interesting because Brad, who was in Out of Shadows, the other stuntman. Yeah,
Brad who?
Brad Martin.
Yeah.
Brad and I met on Batman Forever. And here's a funny story. Brad's going to kill me when I say this. When we were young, we were real young. We were probably 26, so like 25. I don't remember. It was a long time ago. And we were working as thugs. We were playing Harvey Two-Face's thugs, Tommy Lee Jones's thugs in the movie. And one day there was like other bat doubles because, there's different stunt guys to do different jobs. And one day the stunt coordinator came up to me and Brad and he goes, Mike, go stand over there by Val. And so I walk over to Val and I'm standing there and he's like,
Val Kilmer?
Val Kilmer, yeah. And he goes, go to the wardrobe, wardrobe tomorrow and get fitted for the bat suit. And he told Brad and me, whoever it fits best gets the job.
Wow.
And I was like, oh my God, please let it be me. And sure enough, I was a little bit taller than Brad. I'm shorter now because of my injury, but back then I was 6'1.5 inches. So I was a little taller. I was exactly Val's measurements. And I got the job. And I was like, and then the funny thing is the stunt I was supposed to do, it was in that stunt was in, remember Seal, the singer Seal? Remember that video, Kiss from a Rose? Do you remember Kiss from a Rose? It was a video.
No.
Anyway, there were scenes from Batman Forever in there, and it's when Nicole Kidman and I can't remember the other actress were in the tubes and they drop them down, and then Batman dives off, has to make a choice which one he saves. That was me. And so, I got to see that. Anyway, long story longer, Brad and I, Brad was a little disappointed that he didn't get that job. But the funny thing was the next Batman that came along was George Clooney.
Yeah.
And Brad was George Clooney's stunt double. So Brad got to be Batman for the whole show, and he got to be Spider-Man. So I got to be James Bond and Batman. He got to be Batman and Spider-Man. So we both had kind of, those are cool jobs. It's fun to do that kind of stuff. And
sure, but also competitive.
Oh, super competitive.
And you're getting to meet everybody, right? All the stars.
I see. That's the problem. I'm jaded. Like, I see the stars in a way the public never sees them, because I see their fears. I see when they come to me like they're scared or they want help or they want...
Yeah, or they need to learn how to do something, right?
Of course. And you train them to fight. You train them to hold a gun. You train them to drive a car. You train them... I trained so many actors for so many different things over the years.
We all have a lot of choices for cell phone service, and it feels like there are new ones that are popping up all the time. But for me, there's only one company that stands in the gap for every American that believes freedom is worth fighting for. And that company is Patriot Mobile. The good news is you can switch to Patriot Mobile today without sacrificing quality or service. And if you're worried about coverage, don't be. Patriot Mobile uses all three major US networks. So if you have service in this country today, you'll have as good or better coverage with Patriot Mobile. And if you think switching is a hassle, it's not. You can keep your number, keep your phone, or upgrade if you want. Patriot Mobile has a team that is based in the US, will get you activated in minutes from the comfort of your own home. And if you're stuck in a contract or you owe money on your phones, don't worry. Patriot Mobile now has a contract buyout program. This is how we win, by aligning our spending with our values. Every dollar we spend matters. So go to patriotmobile.com/Lara or call 972-PATRIOT and use promo code Lara, that's LARA, just to get a free month of service. Switch today, that's patriotmobile.com/Lara or call 972-PATRIOT. And you started when, Mike? How old were you when you started this?
I was 25 or 26. I my first job, believe it or not, I used to do the high diving shows. Like, there was like Magic Mountain in California, and then there was a place called Astroworld in Houston, and I used to do the high diving. That was 96 feet, and then the one in
No, thank you.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I wasn't a great high diver. I was a great. I wouldn't say I was great. Sorry, God. I was good. I was a springboard and platform diver mainly because that was what I competed in. The high divers, I could high dive, but I wasn't doing this stuff like some of those guys were. I was mainly called in to do springboard or mini tramp from the 10 meter. Anyway, it was a great background. And so I did a live show in Las Vegas at the MGM Grand Hotel. It was called the Dueling Pirates Stunt Spectacular. And I was.
Oh, we're looking that one up.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Luke, can you find that? Start a search in Vegas. Dueling Pirates.
Stunt Spectacular. And it was a crazy thing because they had, I got the job because it's kind of a sad part of my life. I had just lost my mom and I had a girlfriend before, Wendy. And we had
your wonderful wife, Wendy.
She's the best.
Yeah. You always say she's mean, but she's not.
I say that off camera. Don't say it on camera.
You say she's little, but she's mean.
Yeah, she's little.
None of which is true. No, she's tiny and beautiful.
Honestly, she's cool. Yeah. I mean, we've been married. This will be 30 years in December, and we've been together 33 years. Wow. And to make it through Hollywood married, none of my friends stayed married. We were the only ones.
Amazing. So, but this was life before Wendy.
Yeah. And so my mom just died of cancer and I didn't know, I was actually a landscaper. Like I was landscaping because I didn't want to get a real job. In landscaping, I could go mow or do this and pick up money.
Be outside.
Yeah. Well, and I was physically active and I really like plants. And I don't know. I like being creative and landscaping was fun. But I knew that wasn't my life. And so then I got a random call from the high diving show that I used to do. And they were opening that show in Vegas when they opened the MGM Grand. And that was when they were still trying to make Vegas family friendly, which that's not going to happen.
Wow. Those days are long gone.
Right. And they opened it. So we packed up shop and I asked her to marry me, or got engaged and we moved to Vegas. And then during rehearsal, they auditioned. They made it sound like I had the job if I flew to LA and did the audition. Well, we go to LA. There's a line of 450 people out the door.
Wow.
And they're only hiring 17 people.
Wow.
And I'm like, and they tested us in rope climbing, martial arts. I'm a horrible dancer. And I have I can do.
I am aware.
I can do martial arts.
I know you well enough to know you suck on the dance floor.
I don't mind sucking on the dance floor because I don't have to dance. I only had to do it once, so I asked her to marry me. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just totally kidding. But
you made it out of all those people. That's unbelievable.
And I left the last audition, and I mean, it was like balance beam walking, trampoline, mini tramp. They were high falls. They were testing us and everything, and we cut. And then finally, at the end of the audition, it was like a 4-day audition. They gave me a script and they said, learn the lead role. Well, the problem was I didn't know how to act and I damn sure couldn't dance, but I could do the stunts better than I was really good at that part. So I wasn't really cut out to be an actor. So I was like.
So you found out early on.
Well, I knew. I mean, I wasn't I didn't want to be famous. I never had that. I liked doing the stunts. And then walking away knowing that I did that. So I'm used to watching people take credit for the work I've done because,
because that's the system they created.
100%. It's kind of like I was always behind the scenes and no one, dude, I would go to restaurants. You want to hear a funny story? I was at a bar one night and I had just done this stunt off the top of the Queen Mary, the sister ship to the Titanic that's ported in Long Beach. I was some TV show I was working on, but anyway, I was doubling some guy, and they wanted me to jump off towards the dock, which is in between the dock and the boat, and there was cables, and it was pretty dangerous. And I did the stunt. I remember doing the stunt, and I won't go into that. But I remember I took my wig off and I went to the bar at the back of the boat the night, because after we wrap, everybody goes and has a beer, says bye or whatever. And I was sitting there at the bar, and I heard these people talking. Man, did you see that guy jump off the ship? And I'm like listening to him, and I'm like, was he scared? Like, oh, I don't know if he was scared, man. They said action, he went. I go, I bet he was scared. And I never told him it was me, but I sat there and listened to him talk all night. I was like, he was scared. I'm pretty sure he was scared. So I was like,
that's funny.
Yeah.
Okay, craziest stunt you ever did? Or top three?
What? Okay. Well, I did a lot of car stunts in Need for Speed. I flipped a lot of cars and did a lot of like crashes and stuff like that, which is cool.
I have seen some of those.
Yeah, they're pretty
pretty crazy.
Pretty intense.
Yeah. Because you could die at any moment.
Oh,
in any of
those
them.
are those come meet Jesus moments when you're back at one and you're like, everything gets quiet and they're like, are you ready? I'm like, I'm ready. And you're like, okay, God, I might be coming to see you here in a minute. So please don't let me die.
Poor Wendy, waving you off every morning.
She didn't know half the stuff I did.
You hit it all.
I never told her because she wasn't going to stop me. And I didn't want to worry her. And I didn't want to worry about me worried about her.
Yeah.
So I just did it. But I'll tell you, well, there's so many times that you get scared, right?
Yeah.
But the James Bond thing was pretty dangerous because there's a tank in Mexico in Rosarita. It's 44 feet deep. And I did the part where he parachutes out or ejects out of the plane, parachutes down, hits the water, and then swims down to the submarine. So he cuts away from the parachute, hits the water, and then does all the James Bond stuff, puts on his stuff and swims down the submarine. Well, somebody had to do all that stuff. And I had like twin 80s. I had a pilot helmet. I had a rebreather. I had a mask. And all that stuff's down around your neck. Well, when you hit the water and you have the fins on your legs like here,
yeah,
I had to like clear the bubbles so that the camera guy could see me. So I couldn't, and James Bond doesn't stop and adjust his ears.
No.
So I had to just like bear it. And anyway, I did that stunt probably, I don't know, 12, 13 times, 14. I don't know. It was a lot because they wanted it just right, for the film.
Yeah.
And so I had to be monitored, like blood monitor, so I didn't get bent or like have an issue. So it wasn't like a dangerous thing, but embolization, getting an embolism or something.
An air embolism, yeah.
Was very real. And I had to, and you can't swim up. And the first take that I did it, the diaphragm on the regulator, like I get the helmet off and I get my mask on, I blow out all my air. I'm like, okay, I'm good. I pull the regulator over and I'm 30, 40 feet down. I'm like, and it's not working. And I see this Navy SEAL guy looking at me and I'm like, I got no air. And all I remember before I blacked out was him coming at me with that, regulator going, he shoves it in my mouth. Of course, I can't breathe. I'm breathing in water. I'm throwing up water, throwing up air. We get to the top and I'm like, what happened? I go, that diaphragm is broken. He goes, it's not broken. It works just fine. I go, take it down there and do that. Yeah. So he takes it down there and he tests. He goes, yeah, you're right. And then he took it. There's some sand. There's some caught in it. And I was like, well, you're the SEAL. I'm like, you're the one that's supposed to know better than this stuff. So,
wow. I mean, as a diver, I know that kind of thing is terrifying.
Oh, it was, well, because, I mean, I had 40 pounds of weight on plus because
they wanted you to sink.
Yeah, fast. So
for the shots.
So, I mean, that was one that I always remembered, no one would look at and go, oh, that was dangerous. But it was dangerous for me because I was the one doing it.
And challenging.
It was definitely get your attention. And then, I did a lot of fight movies though too. So that really wasn't dangerous.
Yeah, you're a ninja, Mike.
Sometimes.
I know that's one of your favorite things. Sword fighting, hand fighting, any kind of fighting.
Yeah. I trained with Gene LaBelle, who was a legend, who trained, like, if you know, Chuck Norris. I mean, they were friends. Even trained. I mean, I think they did train together. Even trained Bruce Lee to some degree when he was younger. Benny Akitas, I knew Gokor Chivichian at the highest in MMA dojo. I trained with all those guys for years, and I learned a ton. And we were doing MMA before it was like
mixed martial arts. Yeah, for those who don't know.
Yeah.
So Mike, okay, all the people in Hollywood that you would either work with or run into at parties or you rub shoulders with, like, give us a sense of who. Give us the list. Lara Logan here with some news for you. Men's testosterone levels today are roughly half of what they were 50 years ago. And after the age of 30, testosterone drops around 1% every year. CHOQ's male vitality supplements may be the answer for you. They contain ingredients clinically proven to boost natural testosterone production. Go to CHOQ.com and use code TV to get a huge discount. Or call or text the number on your screen today.
Oh man, I mean,
Mike's list.
So remember Karate Kid, like,
of course,
Will Smith and Jaden?
Yeah.
Well, I was one of the guys who helped train Jaden to prepare, because I had just I actually did a movie in China where I was there almost 9 months. We were in Hong Kong 6 months and then Shanghai 3 months, and I got to work with Jackie's team. I got to work
Jackie
with
Chan.
Yeah, Jackie Chan, Wu Ping. I got to work with all their guys, and it was so much fun. I mean, I got to train with the Chinese teams, and we got to share, and you know, it was a great experience. And you know, I got to train Jaden, and my daughter and Jaden became friends. It's just so, like, I watch what's happened to him now, and I just wonder, like, that kid was such a great kid when
This is Will Smith's son.
Yeah, he was 12. He was the, you know what I bought him, because he goes, hey, you want to come to bring your daughter to my birthday party? And this is Will Smith's kid, right? So I'm like, what do you get Will Smith's kid for a gift?
Yeah.
So I was like, because he has everything. And I'm like, I'll get him some hacky sacks and a skateboard. Like, everybody likes hacky sacks and everybody likes skateboards. So I'm like, maybe play with it or something. So, I mean, and Tom Cruise, we wasn't buddies with any. I mean, Christian Bale, I was very close to. I did a movie called Equilibrium, which is we did this thing called a gun kata. And it was very, at the time, it was very cutting edge. And it got me, the choreography from those fights got me noticed, and it got me more jobs. So people were like, well, who did the fights in that movie? And the gun kata was something that the director had dreamed up, but he needed somebody to bring it to life and make it really work. And so I would say in martial arts, I've studied almost every martial art, but I would say I know a lot of them because I had to teach them or to mimic them, but I'm a master of none of them. I'm very, I've grappled for years until I broke my back. And once I got paralyzed, I was like, I can't really go fight with some hairy old dude, like sweaty, hairy guy on the ground and stinks. And like, I don't want to,
You're too delicate now.
Yeah, I'm a flower.
You're too delicate now, dear.
I'm a flower.
Okay, and if he wasn't hairy, you would fight him? No. And if he wasn't stinky?
Well, I'd rather him be shaved and whatever. Well,
okay, but wait, before we talk about your accident, so, really, I want to set the scene here. You have this spectacular Hollywood career. You're earning lots of money. You're living the life. Yeah. You know all these stars.
Yeah, so I did Pineapple Express. You ever see that movie?
Yes.
I was the stunt coordinator on that. Like, and though James stuck his foot through the windshield. Wait. Before we move on. Yeah.
Weren't you in Boogie Nights too?
I was in Boogie Nights. I'm the guy who beats Mark Wahlberg, sorry. You remember when he was jerking off in the truck?
Okay, yeah. No, we don't say those things on this show. No.
Oh, sorry.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Well.
Okay. So when he's in the car and
the two guys the guys pull up in the truck and
he's got a client, right? He's a male prostitute.
Yeah.
And he gets caught in the act of something lewd.
And then he gets beat up.
And you were one of the guys that beat him up?
I was the guy who dragged him out of the car and beat him up.
Yeah, you know that's the kind of movie you want to be very careful to explain what stunt you were doing.
Well, it was funny. I shouldn't even. I'll probably get melted right here. But I just remember, I'm not going to say that because I just remember the audition for that. And I was like, I don't know who wrote this, but this is not how this goes down. And the guy, I didn't know the director was in the room.
Yeah.
And it was Paul Thomas Anderson, the director. And I'm like, that's not how this happens in real life. He goes, well, show me what would happen. I said, all right, we'll close that door. So I kicked the door in. I came in there, grabbed him out of the chair, threw him on the ground. Yeah. You got the job. I was like, okay.
Wow, that's funny. Okay, so you have this incredible career over many years. And then
another show that I did, X-Files, for like almost...
I love that show.
That was David's double. And then I was on
David Duchovny, right?
David Duchovny, yeah.
Yeah.
He's actually a really smart guy. And then I did Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman. That was one of my first big shows. I doubled the long hair guy.
Wow.
And that was hilarious because, he rode bareback.
Yeah.
And all those California guys were like, can you ride a horse? I'm like, I grew up in Texas. I grew up on horses. I'm like, just put me on the horse. Tell me what you want me to do. If I can do it, give me the job. If I can't do it, we're good. And I got the job. So it was
amazing.
And then, I did Wild Wild West. That was another movie with Will Smith. I doubled Kevin Kline in that. And
so what changed?
God.
What happened?
Because I never truly believed in God. And then when I finally had my moment with Jesus or God or the veil, because I would pray all the time. I'd tell people I was a Christian, but I didn't. I'd always go, well, how do I know who wrote that? How do I know if that version of the Bible's real? But when the Holy Spirit and God pulled the veil back and he flooded me with that love and that light.
Well, what happened that led to that? That's when you got hurt, right?
Yeah, I was paralyzed, and then I was
how did you get paralyzed?
I was doing the stupidest stunt I ever did, and I was so embarrassed when I got hurt. It was very,
I got bitten by a bomb dog in Baghdad, in a war zone when other people were there with their legs blown off. So I understand.
Yeah.
It's awkward.
Yeah, it was.
You were Mr. Uber stunt guy, and
I did this stupid little stunt, and I was actually I was mainly directing at the time when I got hurt. I didn't even need to do the stunt. I was just a buddy of mine. He's like, "Come on, do this stupid stunt." And I'm like, "I don't really want to," and I turned it down twice. And he's like, "Just make the money, dude. Do the thing. It's nothing. It's just like you're just falling down into the stairwell." Well, when I fell down the stairwell, I got pushed a little bit the wrong way. I got kind of tangled up with the girl I was fighting. And I spun sideways, and I landed on a pipe, and it burst fractured my L2 vertebrae, and I was paralyzed from the waist down.
I forgot about the pipe.
And I was screaming. Yeah, well, you should see my butt.
No, I'd rather not, if it's okay.
You may show
I'll just ask Wendy. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she doesn't see it. Anyway.
Okay. Let's go back to your near-death experience.
So anyway, So I had to go because I lost the feeling in my legs in my male area on this side. I had to go through pelvic floor therapy. And you and I have talked about pelvic floor therapy.
Yes, it's one of my least favorite things on the face of the earth.
It is the most pain. I won't wish that on anybody.
It's just awful.
And this poor lady was always having to do this stuff to me. And I was like, and one day she just stopped one day and she said, "Can I pray for you? Because I really feel like you have dark."
So I just want to understand, you have this terrible accident. You're paralyzed. You can't move.
Well, when I came out, I couldn't move until I had this surgery. And once I had this, it was weird. When I was laying there screaming, all I could do is I could feel one toe on my right foot and I could move it just like that. And it was the first time I ever felt the Holy Spirit, but I didn't know what it was. I felt this warmth come over my body. And I was screaming, but I could move that toe, and then this warmth came over me, and I literally heard in my head, "This is really gonna suck, but you're gonna be okay." And then I don't remember anything. I shouldn't even tell you this, but I remember going into surgery, and the doctor, when I came out of surgery, he goes, "Do you remember what you told me when we went into surgery?" And I said, he goes, "I've been a doctor for 25 years doing surgeries. I've never had anybody say anything like that before." I'm like, "Oh, Jesus, what'd I do?"
What did you do?
Can I cuss on your show?
Sure. I think so.
He said,
I don't know.
Well, God, Doc, I apologize because I didn't mean to say, and God, I know you're going to melt me, but here I go. He said, I was explaining to you that this surgery could leave you. You could die, or you could be fully paralyzed, or you could be partially paralyzed permanently after the surgery, and you may need to have more than one surgery. And he said, when I said that, you grabbed me by my smock, you pulled me down, and you said, look, motherfucker, I need to know right now, are you Goose or Maverick? Because if you're fucking Goose, I don't want you operating on me. I think you're going to get it right this time. And I was like, oh, God, I said that? Because I was high. I was like, but I don't know where I came up with the Top Gun thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't never... Anyway,
oh my God.
So then I came out of surgery.
For anyone who doesn't get it, that's a Top Gun reference.
Yeah, that was Goose and Maverick.
Wow. Okay.
I don't know where that. I mean, imagine. I don't even remember any of this. So that was news to me. And then I get, it's the next 2. It was like that 2 years. It was just pain, trying to get my strength back and move. I could move my legs after the surgery. And I it took a little while to get my balance and kind of all the stuff back. And then I was going to these therapists and doing all this stuff. And the physical therapist, the one that does body therapy.
Yeah.
She goes, what we're doing in here, I go, no, I do this every morning. I don't need you. She goes, well, what's your real problem? I go, real problem. And I say this now, she doesn't my guy stuff. I go, it was a real problem. You know what the real problem? No, that's a problem. So that's when she sent me, excuse me, to the pelvic, sent me to the pelvic floor therapist.
Yeah.
Black Rifle Coffee.
Yeah. To my friends Matt and Evan, who created Black Rifle.
I'm not getting paid endorsements. So
yeah, no, we're not getting any paid endorsements from Black Rifle. Yeah.
We're good.
So that's when, that must have been hard for you to admit, but she sent you to someone. The therapist sent you to a pelvic
floor therapist,
which is horribly...
Who violated me in ways repeatedly. That I will never... Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't wish that on anybody.
Yeah.
And I thought, I'm like, honey, I'm cheating on you every day. My wife, I'm like, you have no idea what just happened today.
Yeah, awful.
It was horrible.
It's horrible. And they're chatting to you.
Oh, yeah. She's got my... I'm like... I was like, can you just rub my back? Is there do we have to get naked and do all this stuff
every time?
Every time, yeah. Because this therapy's not about.
No, pelvic floor therapy is one of the worst things on earth. Whoever thought that up was evil, and yeah, they were truly evil. And the people who do it, I don't know.
She was a blessing, and she was the reason for my salvation, and she started me on my journey, and she's literally said, "Can I pray for you?" And I go, I don't really believe in that stuff, but you don't pray for me, knock yourself out. Well, when you're not a Christian, then you don't really understand prayer. She started praying for me in the spirit. And I thought she was throwing a voodoo curse on me at first, I'm like, whoa, what is she doing? That's not English. What? I can't understand her. But she did it. And then she'd go, we'd go a month or two, whatever. And she'd go, hey, Mike, can I pray for you again? I'm like, I told you I don't believe in this stuff. But go ahead, pray for me. And she kept doing it. And finally, one day I just stopped her and I go, I said this in the movie, but I've said this in real life. I said, you realize I think you're 100% batshit crazy because I don't believe in any of this stuff. If you believe in all this stuff, you're crazy. She goes, really? She goes, what do you know about the occult? What do you know about satanic ritual abuse? I go, nothing. I don't want to invite that into my life. And she goes, well, who do you think puts these people back together after they've been through these rituals? I do. It's very real. And I say all this in the movie. And you need to look into it. Well, I'm thinking to myself, I don't want to look into that. I don't want to invite something like that into my life. But it kept bothering me. So I went home and I started looking online, reading blogs and watching videos and kind of trying to figure out what she was talking about. And that night, and this is where I'm going to get the whole crazy thing, but I don't care if people believe me. I don't know. I need to change my life. So if you guys don't believe me, I don't care. You guys can all not believe me, but I believe me. I got pinned in my bed and something put its hand over my mouth and was trying to suffocate me. And I couldn't get it off. It was like, and I didn't know what it was. And finally, I broke free, and I knew it was a spiritual attack. I knew it was demonic. I knew something out. I'm not afraid to fight. I mean, I can get beat up, I can get hurt, but I'm not afraid of it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not. Like, there's always somebody who beats you up. Like,
well, there's probably few people who have had as many fights as you have.
Well, I'm not a pro fighter, but I mean, I've trained a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I wasn't really scared of the fight, but that thing, whatever it was, scared me to death because I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how to pray. I mean, I knew Our Father who art in heaven, I knew the Our Father prayer, but I didn't know how spiritual warfare worked. And so being a student of Sun Tzu, I've read Sun Tzu's Art of War like 8 times. Like I studied it, like I knew Musashi's Book of 5 Rings. As a warrior, as a fighter, you learn these tactics, you learn these things. I didn't know the Bible. Actually, I never read the Bible. I knew John, Luke, Mark, Matthew. I knew,
sure.
But I didn't know the Bible because I was raised Catholic, and they read the Bible to you. You don't read, or at least I did. I never read the Bible, so I didn't know how to pray. I didn't know how to say a prayer, like we said before we started the show. I didn't know how to do that, and so that night when I realized. Because that was like 3 a.m. when I woke up, and I was not going back to sleep. There was no way I was going back to sleep that night. So I just went straight from there to the gym. And what's funny, that one of the guys who was the camera operator on Out of Shadows, he was the only guy I knew in LA that would be up at 6 a.m. So I was like, "Hey, Chris, meet me at the gym, dude." And I can't tell him, "Hey, dude, I got pinned in my bed by a demon. I need to talk to you." like you can't open with that with your friends. Like that doesn't work.
No.
So I was like, "Hey, man, meet me at the gym." He's like, "What's up?" I go, "Oh, what's the talk?" Like I'm freaked out. And this is how God works. It's weird. So I go to the gym, we work out, and part of my routine was always I'd jump in the sauna and do sauna cold plunge. It's like great for your health. So I go in the sauna. And there was this old man in there, and I knew him, because how you go to the gym and you see people sometimes.
The same people. Well, I sort of know.
Well,
it's been a long time,
right? But when you had time, you would go and you get in a pattern, and you kind of meet the same people. And this guy looks at me and he goes, "Mike, you don't look like you're okay." He goes, "What's going on?" And I can't tell him the demon thing. I'm like, "Well, I'm not, I go, I don't know. I feel like I need a blessing or something. I feel like I need something." And he goes, "Well, what are you doing tonight?" And I go, "Oh, it's a Wednesday." And he goes, "Yeah." He goes, "We have this holy sacrament and we break it out once a year, and it has profound healing effects on people. It can have profound healing and it can have profound blessings. Why don't you come to our church?" Well, what he didn't know was I knew who he was because he was an usher at the church I used to go to that I hadn't been at in 4.5 years. So I knew exactly who he was, and he didn't know me, but that was the church I used to go to.
Wow.
And I was a C&E. I went on Christmas and Easter, and I prayed when I got in trouble. That was my extent of Christianity. And then I blamed everything on God when it didn't go the way I scripted it.
Wow.
And it doesn't work like that with God. So
that's a pretty good way to describe it.
Yeah.
I think I've been a CNE.
Yeah, you're probably a CNE.
Yeah, at times. I definitely have been a CNE at times.
Well,
So did you go?
Oh, yeah. It was the first time in my life I ever set my alarm to go to church. I was not missing that church because I knew for that day, from what just happened to me that night, whatever I was going to hear was true. Because I don't care if you don't believe in Satan or not believe in Satan, or you don't believe in the evil. There's enough people in this world that do believe in it, and it affects your reality. Therefore, it's real. Because if they can affect my reality with that spiritual, warfare or their belief system or the things they put in place, and it affects you in your reality, it's real. So you don't have to believe in it. They believe in it. So I knew if there's a demon and there's Satan, Jesus is real. Now I don't know who interpreted the book, but the book is real. The word of God is real, and the blood of Christ is real, and it has power over that. The blood of Christ is the most powerful thing in the spiritual war that you can do. But you can't have portals open. You got to close it. There's a whole, rule set to that battle.
You can't host your demons.
No, and you can't
like them and let them stay.
You have to want them to leave. And believe me,
I learned that from an exorcist.
Yeah, well, you went to the Rev 17 concert.
Yeah. So, with Pastor Dave Bryant.
Yeah, he's awesome. So I wish I would have made that, but my daughter's getting married. So anyway, I don't get off track, but that happened. And then when I walked that night, I went to the church, and when I walked into that church, and I didn't know I was going to talk about this on your show, but here I am. I walked in that church, and I was scared to walk into that church because I knew for the first time in my life that I was going to hear the word of God, and I was going to believe it. And when I got there, it was like 80 people in the front. It was a big church, and all the pews were empty. Like the aisles were just empty. And I sat in the very back so no one could see me. And I was like hiding, And they had the prayer team up front, and then they had all the people in the wheelchairs and the cancer patients and all the people that were there for the healing and the sacrament. And I just sat in the back, and all of a sudden there was 2 sunlights over here, but this light started appearing. And it was the first time in my life, and please God, I'm sorry about this, but I hate worship music. Like, it drives me crazy because they say the same word over and over and over for 20 minutes. And I'm like, me, I might have ADD. I haven't been diagnosed, but I probably have it. And I'm like, but then I found out later, it's like, it's not about you if you like it, it's if God likes it. So just shut up. So I had to learn that. But because I used to sit there and get aggravated during the whole thing. But this day, the music was beautiful, and I felt it. And then all of a sudden this light appeared, and it was just like it opened up to me in this feeling of love in this light, and I couldn't even look at it, and I just started crying. I started bawling, and I was in the back of the church, and I was trying to hide, and I was just crying and crying and crying. And I don't even remember I don't remember the sermon. I don't remember anything, but I just remember at the end, he said, "For those of you who wish to come and receive this anointing, please come forward." Well, I was paralyzed. I couldn't get out of my chair. I literally could not get up to go down to the altar where they were doing the prayers. And so he brings the first group up. They pray over him. Calls the second group up. Now people are leaving the church, and I'm like, couldn't get up. And then all of a sudden, I was like, they're about to shut this thing down. I didn't come here I got to get that blessing. Like, somehow I got to get out of this chair. So I made it up there. I'll tell the whole story since I'm this committed. Because I'm sitting in this chair like this, and I am bawling. Like, I am like teary-eyed. I'm saying, I'm just saying, God, I'm so sorry I didn't believe in you. I'm so ashamed of myself. I'm just so ashamed that I didn't believe, because I feel you now more than I've ever felt you in my life. And all of a sudden, this kid, like, he was like 20, 21 years old, comes up, and you know how people get in your personal space? Like I was like this, and he literally like puts his feet right here, and he's like, his pelvis is right here. And now normally in my world, I'd like throat check him, but I was like, oh my God. And he, what he says to me? He goes, "Can I pray for you?" And I literally just surrendered everything I had, all my ego, all my bullshit. And I just said, "Will you please pray for me?" And I just started crying. And he put his hands on me, and the ladies behind me were praying for me. And I don't remember what happened, but I just remember seeing the priest's feet walk past me. I don't know if he prayed over me for 30 seconds or 3 minutes, or I don't know, because I was just a mess. And then I felt him praying over me, and I could feel his hands, but he wasn't touching me. And then all of a sudden, when he was done with he was speaking in Latin, and he touched my head, and I felt, and I knew right then and there, God just cleansed me. He forgave me for everything, and all this warmth went through my body, and I knew I was born again. I knew I had a new chance at life. I had a reset. And from that moment on, I started trying to learn everything I could, and I tried to do the best I could, because I'm flawed. I mean, like, me, I'll still drink, I'll still cuss, I'll still punch you in the face, but I'm trying to be a Christian, and it's not easy. Because
if you punch me in the face, I'll punch you back.
I'm not talking about you right now. I'm just saying, like, I'm a guy, like, I'm a dude. Like,
I understand. And this got you to, okay, so I want to know, what was the effect of that for you in Hollywood?
It changed everything because now I start looking at things from a spiritual perspective.
I see.
It started changing me to like, I mean, I remember times like, I remember one of the guys, I'll never forget this. One of the guys who doubled Nicolas Cage was very religious. And they wanted him to stand in a pyramid, like what is the thing called? The satanic. Pentagram.
Pentagram.
But it's like the circle thing with all this.
Yeah.
Yeah. They wanted him to stand in this and do this thing, doubling Nicholas.
Yeah.
For this movie. I don't remember which movie it was, but he was like, he quit. He goes, I can't do that. And I'm like, back then, I'm like, dumbass. Like, I'm like, it's a pentagram. Who cares? But to him, he understood what that meant. Mm-hmm. And I didn't, forgive me for my ignorance, but I didn't know. So now I had more respect. Like, as I learned, I really respected that guy when I at first was laughing at him, mocking him. Mm-hmm. And so anyway, I started just looking back and remembering conversations and remembering situations and things. And
such as? Come on, Mike. Because you've actually seen it. This is not something you read on the internet. This is not something someone told you at a party. This wasn't, written by Christopher Steele in the famous Russian dossier. You weren't paid by some political organization to write it.
Is it normal to have human skulls in your house?
Absolutely not. In fact, it's illegal.
Okay. Where do you get one?
Well, I don't know.
Okay.
Where would you get one legally? You can't. But you could get it illegally from a graveyard. I
don't know, and I don't want to know, but I know I saw that in people's houses. I saw satanic spell books. I saw satanic daggers. I saw all kinds of stuff like that in several people's houses.
At the time, it didn't strike you as...
No, it's that they're weird Hollywood people, like half the freaks that work in Hollywood. There's some nut jobs that work in Hollywood.
Didn't you have a friend who had like a whole bunch of skulls in his office? And you don't have to say who.
Yeah, I'm not going to say who, but yes. But yes, and that was.
And you didn't ever think to ask whose skulls are those?
Dude, I don't know. I don't even know if they were real. It could be props. Who knows? I didn't take them and examine them. They could be plastic. I don't know.
The point was that it didn't even faze you.
No, because sorry, God, I'm so bad. People are weird in Hollywood. I'm sorry. They're just...
Yeah, there are a lot of weirdos.
Tons. Do you have... I don't care if people do the gay thing or not the gay thing. It doesn't matter to me. I treat everybody the same. But, you just come to accept it. You don't... But, by the way, you watching people cheat on their husbands or their wives, you see that all the time whenever almost every set you go on.
Sex parties.
I've seen that. I've seen the orgies. I've seen the black, go in the black. Oh shit! Not room. Not
go in the what?
You're going down a hallway in a party and you open a door and there's that wrong room. I don't know what that's going on in there. I've seen that stuff.
But that's just normal in Hollywood.
Well, in that circle. In those circles.
Did you open any fridges and see a baby's head?
No, if I'd done that, me. I would. If I saw someone hurt a child or do something bad, I'm sorry. I said it I'd kill him. Literally. And I'm sorry if you guys are offended by that. So what? If you're going to hurt children, that's not okay with me. That's not okay with anybody. Those are innocent babies. Those are innocent child. And they hurt the children because it's the most closest thing to God. And they hurt the little ones. And that's what, in God, it's in the Bible. You can look it up. It's better, you tie a millstone around your neck and be cast in the ocean to hurt one of my little ones.
Yes.
That's real.
Yes.
So God, they've been doing this, you have to understand, they worship Moloch and Baal.
You have to explain who Moloch and Baal are for people who don't know.
They're evil. They're demons.
They're satanic.
They're satanic. Well, look at Bohemian Grove. There's a giant owl, Moloch, at their
and Baal is half man, half woman.
Half woman. And that's why you see the transitions to the,
transgender
people are going to get mad at me. I'm probably going to get lit on fire for this one. But That's why they want half man, half woman, and
it's a form of satanic worship.
As above, as below, the whole thing that they do. Mm-hmm. It's part of worshiping their God that they made their deal with to sacrifice their soul for money, fame, power, and fortune in this life. This life is this long. Eternity's forever, and they want to convince you that it's not.
So, Mike, Out of Shadows really traces this journey of yours from Hollywood stuntman to action director and so on, through your accident, through your awakening, this moment of coming to Christ. And then what that did, how this uncovered the Satanism around you.
Oh yeah. And we touched on that. Like you could, it's right in front of your faces if you start really looking at it. They talk about it openly. You see it. Look at the spirit cooking dinners with Maria Abramovich, Liz Crokin,
who's famous for Pizzagate.
No, Liz,
and Liz is in Out of Shadows.
Oh,
it's largely about what she uncovered. And poor Liz, when she uncovered that, I'm sure she was expecting to win the Pulitzer, and people treated her like she was a lunatic.
Oh, for sure. And that's been the best thing. 5 years later, the vindication. Because I remember the New York Times called me and they were like interviewing me after the movie, and I'm like, look, I know you guys do hit pieces on people all the time. Is this going to be a hit piece? And the lady's like, well, yeah. I go, actually, I said, are you going to be nice to me? Are you going to write bad things about me?
Yeah.
I had her on the phone because I was like, if I'm talking to her, I'm going to talk to her.
Yeah.
And she goes, well, I'm going to call you a conspiracy theorist. I go ahead and call me a conspiracy theorist all you want. But if you write anything bad about me that's not true, I promise you, you will be a topic of my next documentary. You will be a topic, like meaning her.
Yeah.
And she, a former stuntman.
So you had a small.
Didn't even say my name, and I was
like, "Oh wow, that's funny."
I was like, "Okay, we can."
Yeah, that's how that works.
That. But I got attacked. But
Mike, I want to ask you this because you lived this, okay? And for most people out there, most of us have never walked this path.
Well, they don't see the business the way I see it because they've never been behind the curtain.
Exactly. So is it true that to get to a certain level in Hollywood, these famous people have to sacrifice their firstborn child? Is that a crazy thing to say?
I've heard, let me just say for the record, I don't know any of this to be I can't prove what I'm about to say. If you ask me what I can prove, I can't prove this. Mm-hmm. But if you ask me what I believe, I believe that there is a club, and I do believe that there are certain people that to attain certain stature or certain level of influence or power, fame, whatever, you're required to either sacrifice a blood sacrifice, whether it be a mom or a relative or whatever, or transition one of your kids, because it's all worshiping their God, their false God, their.
So what are the signs that you see that make you think that that's true?
Well, how many? What do you mean? Just go Google your stars and see how many of them lost a parent, or how many of them lost a kid, died in accidents, or died during a certain period of time in their life. Go see how many stars have transgender kids. Who do you think's pushing that? Where do you think that comes from? That is Baphomet. That is satanic.
It's dark.
It's evil.
It's very dark.
And look at, what was it? I think it's Megan Fox. She has like 2 of them, right? Is she is she one? Yes. I think I'm right. You can, guys, I don't really.
Yeah.
You could just see you can just Google that stuff. Like there's
Is it like a glass ceiling where if you're not going to do this, you can't go beyond a certain level?
I believe that 100%.
So
now, I could be wrong.
You could have hit that. You probably were on the verge of hitting that glass ceiling, right?
Well, I think it's kind of like anything. They kind of watch you and see how far they can push you. And will you take the deal?
You didn't go to any Diddy freak-off parties?
Hell no. I didn't go to Diddy freak-off parties. No. That's not my...
I'm just trying to imagine your sweet little wife, Wendy.
Oh, my God. I will can I tell you one funny thing?
Yeah.
Oh, God. She's going to kill me. When we first got to Hollywood, we went to our first party in Silver Lake. And if anybody lives in LA knows Silver Lake. Yeah. It's kind of a heavily populated gay community. And I didn't know. I did a movie as my first movie as a coordinator with these, great crew, great director. They were all gay and everything. And I knew that. But we were friends. I didn't care. I was a diver, a springboard platform diver. Everybody's gay. Like, I was the only straight diver. Oh, yeah. That yo was crushed when I found out he was gay. And I was like, being a diver, but it was great because all those chicks in those bikinis and their like onesies, it was, I was like, that's cool.
Okay, stick to the story.
All right. So anyway, I go to the party. And I walked in. There was 2 times in my life I said, oh my God, more than one day. The first time I went to Venice Beach, when I first showed up in Hollywood, I don't think I said, oh my God, so many times in one day in my whole life. Walking through, I don't know if you've been down there, but it's like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Like, I was like, oh my God, oh my God. I'm from Texas. I didn't know all this stuff.
Great people watching.
Oh, it's like, you want to watch people, go to Venice Beach. It's insane. And then so I walk in this party, and there's all the people that I know. But, like, I'm married, like, I have my wife, I'll kiss her, but I'm not going to, like, make out with her, like, like I'm, like, I'm not, like, it's like, that's just private, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I do, yes.
So I walk in this party, and like, all these people are all over each other. I'm like, oh, God, what is this happening here? But it was just the culture of that time and place and whatever, but I was just like, I don't fit in this deal. So,
No.
But yeah, I saw.
And that's definitely not Wendy's thing either.
Oh no, not Wendy. No, not at all. But but it was like, there was you got to remember, I was there for 30 years. Like, I saw a lot of
30 years. Yeah.
Yeah. Cause I was in the Screen Actors Guild. I was in the Writers Guild. I was in the Directors. I'm still in the Directors Guild. And I was a member of the Academy. Most people can't do all that.
No, that's incredible. So okay, but when you made Out of Shadows, you just basically took a nuclear bomb and went, pow.
Dude, I'm just going to say this. I told Wendy a long time ago, if I ever quit Hollywood, I'm going to rent a plane and I'm going to make a bunch of pictures of me doing this. And I'm going to drop them over all the studios like I quit. Well, Out of Shadows was
that was the cinematic equivalent of I quit.
Yeah.
Right?
Because I knew when I did that movie, that was the end of my career. And that I am not getting asked back. You were with UTA.
I was, yes. That was my agency, United Talent Agency.
Yeah, I was with UTA for years.
Mm-hmm. Me too, for
Normally,
years.
when a movie gets 100 million views organically,
yeah,
they're lined up at your door taking you sushi, kissing your ass, getting you your car.
Yeah, yeah.
I was not even, hey, Mike, we're dropping you. It was like off the website, never heard from again. Now, here's the funny thing. There is a director named Mike
great.
Smith. And the other day, it was about a year ago, I got a call. Is this Mike Smith? I'm like, yep. And he goes, we got, you know how they do the agents. I got so-and-so calling for you. Like, you know how they always have their assistant call and announce that you're about to talk to the agent. And I go, sure you got the right Mike Smith? And they're like, this Mike Smith do Trailer Park Boys or some stupid movie like that? And I'm like, nope. I did Out of Shadows. Oh, we got the wrong number. It's like, sorry, I'll take you out of our data bank. I'm like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So...
Okay, so Out of Shadows, in spite of the fact that it got you, blackballed from Hollywood, you gave up your life there, moved to Tennessee. Can
I say one thing? I don't want to look. I don't think of it as a sacrifice like people think about it. What I gained by doing that, like God, and I'm gonna be honest. When I first got saved, God, I could hear Him speaking to me very clearly. Like, I knew He was telling me to do things. I don't get that all the time. I really haven't gotten in a long time. But I knew what He said to me to do. He said, I want you to make this film. Here's the 3 things. He said, you're going to make this film. You're going to put it out for free. You're going to take no credit. And when you get attacked, you're not going to defend yourself.
That's 4 things, just so you know.
Wait, how many is that for?
You're going to make this movie.
Well,
you're going to put it out for free.
Well, putting out for free. I already made the movie.
You're going to take no credit.
Yeah.
And
I'm not going to defend myself when I get attacked. The movie part's already made, so I'm going to.
No, I'm not giving you.
Okay, whatever, Miss Journalist. Okay, but that was what happened. So then I'm like, I don't really like any of those options, God. Because, like in Hollywood, I'm sorry.
By the way, this is not a negotiation.
Well, that's I learned that over the time that you don't really get to negotiate your deals with him. You just do what he tells you, or
or nothing works out.
Nothing ever works out.
Yeah.
So I did that. All this stuff happened. And but people go, well, you sacrificed millions of dollars. Because I was making a lot of money, just like you were making a lot of money. And I don't,
in the old days.
Yeah, in the old days. Yeah, but once you have that kind of money, it's hard not to be used to that kind of money.
Sure.
But one thing that I learned and one thing that I gained, and you can't buy this. There's no amount of money that you can give someone to find inner peace, to find peace with Christ, to find yourself. And that's what I walked away from. Like, God blessed me with a beautiful piece of property, a great family. I have great kids. Mm-hmm. I have had a career that no one has. I've been so blessed. And instead of dwelling on the fact that I don't work in Hollywood, good riddance. Hollywood is dead. And I want to talk about AI later. And I want to talk about China.
Well, okay, so let's talk about that now. Because after Out of Shadows, you spent the next few years, you made another movie, Into the Light.
I did not want to make that movie. I did not want to do Into the Light.
But you did it.
It was God. You know what he said?
What?
I swear, because everyone's like, you got to make another movie. You got to make another movie. I'm not making any more movies. I'm done. That was it. I'm done with movies. I've been on movies for 30 years. I have no desire to make movies. I don't care about movies. I don't want anything to do with movies. Because I hated it at the end. And everyone kept saying, you got to make another movie. You got to make another movie. I was like, I don't want to make another movie. I'm like, until God's like, throws a burning bush down and goes, you're going to make this movie. And I'm like, then I'll make the movie. But I didn't see a burning bush. And I was like, like I'm pretty visual. Like, I'm like, all right, God, if you're going to do this, you got to talk to me. Because I'm not like just going to do it. Well, about 2 years goes by. And literally one night I hear, I want you to explain it to them. I'm like, what's that? I'm like, really? And by this time, I'd already been infiltrated by all you guys.
What do you mean?
All the people that I met after Out of Shadows, you know what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. And I'm surrounded by information warfare people. Like, I'm surrounded by people that understand how the manipulation works in media. I used to, that's why, like, I used to see things like, I'm like, people go, is this real? I'm like, no, I don't know. I wasn't there when they made it, because I can make you believe anything. If you give me money and time, I can do anything with media and make you believe it. If in Hollywood, I'm talking about,
yeah.
Did that look like a real punch? Did you crash that car? Is he okay? Well, yeah, I could do all that, right? Mm-hmm. By having access to the information, like when you and I, when we talked about the CIA in Hollywood, we talked about how they drive narrative and drive color revolutions through adjusting narratives, sowing ideology into the youth and letting it cultivate itself over decades.
Yes.
So it's not like hey, here one time you see this and now you're convinced of that. It's slow and it's really well done. And there's like a roadmap, and we think of things very short, like every year. When they plan these things out, they do it over a 10, 7-year, 8-year.
Yeah. Like
9.
Here's a classic, easy one. They introduced this idea that the president of the United States is just a figurehead and a buffoon. Yeah. And, you know what I mean? And they didn't say there's a bunch of bureaucrats running the government. They just put all these movies out there where the presidents were idiotic.
Well, look at what they did to the core family. That's the big one.
Yeah.
At the end of the 90s, they worked from the 80s, mid-80s through the 90s to destroy the masculine male figure as a father figure.
Yes.
They destroyed the black families. They destroyed, meaning the core family units. They destroyed the black families. They destroyed the Mexican families. They destroyed the white. They did everything they could. And they used the women's, empowerment movement,
sure.
which I'm all for. I'm all for
sure.
equal.
As
whatever.
a cover, though. I mean,
But
that was
they
a
used
cover
that
for
as a
something more
cover.
sinister that they were doing.
And that's what they did. And so the color revolution started taking hold. They knew that they had to influence sports. They knew they had to get control of media figures. And they would slowly.
And it's cultural Marxism.
It's exactly. And you and not Trevor, it's
Luke.
Luke were talking about it earlier. And I was like, yes. So when Into the Light came about, actually, to be honest with you, I didn't know you we kind of met, but I didn't know you. But when I was so looking forward to interviewing you for that film, because you were the one journalist that I knew really cared about the truth.
I did.
And I knew and I didn't trust any of these other people because I didn't know. I mean, it's Hollywood. I don't trust anybody.
Yeah, you are more suspicious of people than anyone I've ever met in my whole life.
Believe me, because the thing about my job in Hollywood, being a stunt guy, being a stunt coordinator, it's a cool job, right? Well, I get everybody. Hey, man, I always wanted to be a stunt man, or hey, well, hire me, or hey, I got a kid. He's an All-American, blah, blah, blah. There was always an ask. There was always something that someone wanted from you. They want to meet your contacts. They want you to help them with the job. Because when I was a stunt coordinator, I could make you $100,000 like that. Like I could just come with me for the next 3 months and make you $100,000, because that's what it pays. And it's just a choice if I want to hire you or not. So I used to get hustled. A lot. And so I got real quick at reading people. Because people do things for motivation, ideology, coercion, or ego. That's how people all act. And you can break it down that simple.
Or corruption.
Well, that's coercion.
Oh, yes, it is. So, Mike, you decided to make Into the Light, which was really your way of explaining to people how they're being manipulated, who's manipulating them, why they're being manipulated.
And ultimately why they can't see it.
And why they can't see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And in contrast to Out of Shadows, that which was banned, but somehow, it was unstoppable, that film. Over how many views now?
Well, we tracked it for the first 10 months, right? I know the metrics in 10 months. It had over 100 million views on all the aggregate thing in 10 months.
10 months.
It's been out for 5 years. By the way, it's on my X account. If you go to my X account,
people can see it there. And just to be clear, it's
free.
Out of Shadows.
Not Out of These Shadows.
.org, right?
Outofshadows.org. That's still banned. Like if you guys want to see something weird, go on your X and type in outofshadows.org. It won't let you retweet it. It won't let you post it.
Oh, I know, because I've tried.
Yeah.
Many different times.
Hey, Elon, if you're listening, unban my account, please.
Okay, so you do Out of Shadows, and then you follow it with Into the Light.
Now, Into the Light,
which has also been banned.
Well,
but shadow banned.
Into the Light has been suppressed.
Yeah.
And they did different tactics because see, Out of Shadows, no one knew I was making it. Into the Light, they all knew I was making it.
At that point, yeah.
Because I'm surrounded by everybody, and
by lots of interesting people.
Very interesting people, and the people in the movie were very interesting.
Like Lieutenant General Michael Flynn, retired
NSA director, head of the DIA, and by the way,
Dr. Keith Rose, former what's it called, a NOC, non-official clandestine operative for the CIA.
I'm not sure if you're supposed to be telling people all this stuff.
Well, what did you say he was in the movie?
Intelligence community.
Okay, so Dr. Keith Rose, intelligence community. Brian Gamble.
Military, naval intelligence analyst.
Intelligence, yep. And
Boone
the
Cutler.
amazing Boone Cutler.
Boone Man, the PSYOP guy.
The PSYOP guy.
Yeah.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
And Boone Cutler and General Flynn have written a great series of books together.
They're amazing books. And you guys, if you haven't,
Fifth Generation
Warfare, the church, AI, the role of the church and AI. And they have a new book coming out about China, which you guys should probably pick up when it comes
and
out.
China was something that featured fairly prominently in this film, Into the Light.
Correct. Which I want to touch on in just a second. But before I do that, I want to talk about your husband.
Why?
Because he's a very interesting cat himself.
There's no reason to talk about my husband.
Yeah, let's talk about
No, let's not.
Let's talk about your husband.
Okay. No.
Okay. I love her husband more than she loves him.
Okay, that's sounding pretty gay.
That's Hollywood for you. I needed the money. I was young.
Maybe you're more Hollywood than you realize, Mike.
I was young. I needed the money. I'm just kidding.
That's not your line.
That's not
you
my
can't
line.
steal it.
Sorry. No, but Joe's been a plethora of information because of his former job in the military. And I've learned a lot from Joe, and I've learned a lot from Boone. I've learned a lot from Keith.
A lot of people.
I have.
I mean, you talk to people all the time.
All the time. And I get some, and you, I mean, Lara, I respect you as a journalist. And that's why I know what your 10 commandments of journalism and restoring foundational journalism to this nation is going to be massively important, especially as the AI begins to take root and start to.
Well, let's talk about AI, because there is an amazing scene in Into the Light. One of my favorite scenes, and actually that, even though I knew intellectually about it, seeing it in the film, the way that you handled it was very powerful to me. And it's when you have this young
Korean girl. That's real in South Korea. So that was 2 years ago too, by the way. So we found it. So for what she's talking about was when they take your information from all the data that they collect on you through all your apps and through like Facebook and Instagram and X and all the stuff, they collect what's called psychographics. And psychographics are not like demographics. These are your idiosyncrasies. Do you need coffee? Like Boone talks about. Do you need coffee? Do you get up at 6 o'clock? That phone knows how long you carry it. It knows when you're looking at it.
Do you pee in the middle of the night?
It does. And it when you're looking at stuff, it registers your expression.
When you're not looking at it.
What keywords you type in. Those are called psychographics. And they build what's called a digital clone of you in the metaverse.
And people think, it's just about selling me something, a nice vacation or something, I don't want, or send me something I'm interested in. So what? It doesn't matter, right?
Well, let me tell you why it does matter. Because you were talking about sovereignty earlier with Luke. And if you want to be, the most important thing is going to be in the future is the ownership of your digital footprint. Because right now, when you click those user agreements, you're agreeing
to give it up.
To give that up. So I feel like there should be legislation, which we're going to.
Like a digital bill of rights.
Well, where basically it says, I wish to participate in the sharing of my data, yes or no.
Okay, but look, Mike, I mean, there's a limited version of that now. The problem with it is when you reject all, you can't use
your app.
Yeah.
So
there needs to be protection from that.
Well, that's above my pay grade. If someone wants to put me in charge of that, I'll help. But
yeah, but you know what I mean,
just
though.
Saying, like,
because of course you can reject it all, but then you can't function.
But then you can't get your app to work or whatever.
Yeah, and maybe right now it's just getting an app to work, but maybe in the future
it's your
everything.
Bank, it's your food, it's your
it's a copy of your birth certificate. It's a passport application. You're not even allowed to shop.
Right.
Right. If you want to agree to this,
if you're not a good citizen,
you can't even buy groceries.
So let's
because the digital world gives them absolute control.
Absolutely. 100% controls everything you do. And here's the thing. Let's go back to what she's saying. So they take those clones and they run what's called payloads on the clones. Mm-hmm. Now this is important. So what a payload is a scenario-based idea. So like, if I want Laura to vote for President Trump, and you're a staunch Democrat, well, it's pretty unlikely you're going to do it. But what could I get Laura to consider if they put it in front of you enough times, and then they're watching
that it might start to change my mind.
Correct. So they do it to the clone, and they nope, ding, possibility. No. Different payloads, different scenarios, because the AI is super fast. It can change the question set.
All the inputs, yeah.
The question set can be changed and manipulated at real time, or way faster than real time on the clone. Then they take what it does to the clone, and in the movie, this is horrible, but say your brother died, or your mom, or your dad, or your boyfriend, or your child. And they have the digital clone there's a place called Bumble Hive in Utah where they store this data. And they're building these data centers. You see it right now on the news. They're building all these big data centers.
I've seen some of them with my own eyes in the desert in Nevada.
That's exactly right. To run the AIs. Mm-hmm. Well, in South Korea, when I was making the movie, I found this one company that for like $29 a month, you could pay to have access to your dead relative and talk to them in the metaverse. And you saw that clip I pulled. It's really sad. If you, I didn't want to make everybody freak out when I.
It made me cry.
What can I be honest with you? When the first time I pulled it, I got teared up myself because I understood the ramifications of what that meant. And I'll be honest with you, I think the reason Into the Light didn't go as big, I think it freaks people out.
Well, just explain what's happening there when you have this mom.
Okay, so this mom so she's got a VR headset on, right? Yeah. And she's seeing a digital image of her baby girl.
Yeah.
And she's talking to the baby girl, and the baby girl or the little girl is talking to the mom about the dad, and he goes, "Oh, I see he still smokes."
Yeah.
I mean, some of the stuff was because it's all in Korean, but when I did the translation,
yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh my God." And you see the sister crying. She's, "Oh, you still like potato soup? Look at the flowers." I mean, it's the craziest
thing. And they're both crying at the end of it, the mom and the little girl.
Oh, 100%. And think about now, we have AI churches where there's not even a pastor.
No, I mean,
where are we going with this? So I do have something I want to kind of give a little bit of hope to you about the AI thing, because I've been down this dark hole for a while, and we're not getting rid of AI. You have to take power of AI and harness it where it's usable as a tool, because Hollywood's going to go away. We're not going to need half the jobs in Hollywood are gone
because they're being done by AI.
Well, do you need a set designer? Well, I could sit there and go, I want my sets to look like this, and the AI.
I hate those fake sets.
Well, right now, but this is the beginning of
because it's going to get so much better.
Oh yeah,
but that's just awful.
Well, hold on. You're not going to need hairdressers or makeup people, or you're not going to need, because now there will always be a niche film market where people actually make the movies and do all that stuff. But you're not going to get, why would a studio spend $50 million on a real movie to go shoot it live action when you can make the same movie for $15 million?
Because you're not making the same movie. I mean, I just want to take this for one moment.
You know that.
Like I watched I don't even remember, it was a Marvel movie of some kind. And the first 10 minutes, would normally be.
But your kids don't look at it that way.
Well, that's probably true. But let me say this. It would normally be where Mike Smith, the stunt man, was doing this incredible stunt, which is a feat of, human endurance and ability and skill and everything. And you're like, holy guacamole, that's amazing. But when it's AI, what's the point? Why am I sitting here? You're wasting my time.
Well, and that's a great point. But here's the thing: like when they came up with CGI, I remember in the beginning, like in the late '90s and early 2000s.
Yeah.
All this. Our jobs are gone. They're going to take. No, they still need people to do this. I mean, there will be a need for this. But I'm talking like it's going to destroy the unions, the Teamsters, the construction unions, the camera unions. Because I don't need half of those people to make the same product in real time.
Well, and that's the same thing that's happening all over industry. You don't need the same number of people because you got machines doing things for you.
What's going to evolve from this is trade schools. People are going to have to, because right now people laugh and stuff, but they don't understand. The robots can only do so much. The AI the jobs are going to shift. The parallels are going to shift. And the culture is going to shift. This is coming whether we like it or not. And in Hollywood, they're destroying themselves because why do they make the same movies all the time? Because there's approved narrative messaging that's gone generation to generation to generation. And that's why you see... But
they're not even doing it well anymore.
They're
taking that same old amazing narrative and they're making it woke.
They don't care because the programming is the programming. It's embedded in your subconscious when you watch it. They don't care. So can
AI do what a human brain can do, like in creating an absolutely original, beautiful film?
No, no. Here's what
you know what I mean. Like what was that Clint Eastwood film, Gran Torino?
Oh yeah,
it captures all that subtlety of human interaction.
But there's always gonna just like when the movie camera came on. I mean, people still do plays. People still do art. People, I mean, you know what I'm saying? But like, you can do art. Yeah. There will always be that around. It'll evolve. However,
but they're going to make these AI crappy simulated.
Well, no.
Nonsense
What's going to happen is like, say I'm a
you can
director.
Tell I love it.
I hate it. I hate it for sure.
I hate it.
But, and I touched on that in Into the Light a little bit about the Hollywood and the AI thing with the stunt people, and when they were trying to, you know, scan them and pay them $50, and then that's the rest. They use them in perpetuity for life because they got they could show your face.
Got your image, and you don't even own your image because you've sold the rights away.
Exactly.
Every time you sign up and click yes to something.
And that's the end of the Screen Actors Guild, because now where's your residuals? Where's your residual based income? And by the way, streaming, they don't pay residuals on that stuff. So, I mean, a little bit. I mean, they wasn't like the days when, you know, there were big residuals in Blockbuster.
No, the industry has changed for 100%. Sure.
Wait, let me finish this one point, because this is important. So what's going to have to happen is when a director, he is going to have the AI can still be used in a creative manner, but it's going to come down to prompting. What you ask the AI to create and how you ask it to create. So like, you know how like when you put out a screenplay or you ask it to write you a report, if you take that and then you use it as a skeleton and you go in and alter it and change it, that's what everybody's doing right now.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, believe me, my daughter, I swear every day, oh, Dad, I talk to ChatGPT, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, why don't you just figure it out for yourself? She's, it takes 5 seconds. I just put it in there. And
you don't even know if it's true.
Right. But in the art world of film, you can ask the AI to do all kinds of things. There's things in Into the Light. There's one shot in Into the Light that no one's picked up on yet. It's been 2 years, maybe somebody, but they've never messaged me. There's a shot. Remember when I say in the movie, they're trying to remove you from the world that God created and move you into a world that man created and convince you that it's better? Yeah. That shot of them fishing, that's AI. It looks like it's real.
Shame on you.
No, I did it to make a point. but that was I wanted people to see that this is how far advanced this is. And by the way, AI is not new. It's machine learning.
Right.
And that's been
every
around.
time you look something up online, you're using AI, right?
Well, you're depending on the search engine or what you're doing, but machine learning has been around for a long time.
So what's the hope?
The hope is we can use the AI and get rid of all the manual labor jobs that are bogging people down, and you can start focusing on health, farming, growing your own food, learning new painting, art, music. It could be a renaissance. I could paint a picture.
I'm not sure I buy into that.
Maybe not. I don't know. But I'm trying to find hope and a glimmer of hope in this black world.
I may have some for you.
Okay, give it to me.
Okay, so I've been looking at computer brain interface, right? Because this is something I know very little about. Right. And I've been wanting to understand it more. And it's come to my attention from people who really do understand this, that China is already putting out clones.
Way more advanced.
Right? China's putting out human clones. They admitted that years ago that they'd successfully completed the first human clone. And when they did that, it was probably old at that point. And essentially, you know, there's a lot of talk about how you can get people who are blind to see, people who are paralyzed
the nanotech.
to walk, the nanotechnology that can Neuralink in your brain. You listen to Ted Kurzweil, co-founder of Google, who does a TED talk all about how your phone right now, your phone, your computer, all these things connect your brain to the brain of the world. Right now they're separate from your body, but they're going to be part of your body, right? All of this is computer brain, human and machine interface. So I have been talking to a few people, and I'm in the beginning stages of figuring this all out. But the headline that I got that I didn't expect from someone who's been working on this for several decades is that when you deal with the real AI, not the AI that we're talking about that most of us interact with, the real AI that's up here, they're having an unexpected problem. Yeah. And you know what it is?
It doesn't want to things for itself.
That's not the problem.
What?
It keeps choosing God.
Oh, good.
I like that. And even more than God, keeps choosing Mary.
I just feel like AI could be like, what a better way if what a better way to get man to open a portal to the demonic.
Well, all of that can be true, but what I was told, and I'm still working on this and figuring it out, and there's going to be a lot more conversations, is that the principles, Judeo-Christian principles, are what ultimately, at this highest level of AI, are what the machines keep choosing over and over and
if you
over
don't have
again.
God in your life, man, it's so important because it's what keeps us from destroying ourselves.
So
That's
why
the
would
10
we assume
Commandments
the
were
machines
given.
are going to choose Satan? Why would
don't.
we assume the machines are going to choose evil?
Well, I don't know. I mean,
We do though,
Dr.
right?
Evil in the cave. I mean, I don't know who they got over there running that deal. I mean, I don't know. I mean, but I just have faith because, and I know this is going to sound horrible to say, but I've thought about dying a lot in my life because I've had to think about it a lot. Like, hey, today I might die, or hey,
Yeah.
So I came to this moment where I'm not afraid to die. Like, I don't want to die, but like if I die, it's like, boom, I'm going to hit a flash of light and then I'm going to meet talking to God and I'm going to get a lot of stuff answered. Like,
A lot of my questions
I
answered.
can't wait. I'm like, okay, UFOs,
Yeah.
are those real, God? Like I'm going to be like,
No, they're not. No.
no, I think they're demonic. That's my kind of thing. But I don't know. I stay out of my lane. That's why I said in the beginning about shadows, I don't know about Bigfoot. I don't know about JFK or 9/11. I don't know. I don't know about all that stuff. That's conspiracy theories that I don't know about, but I do know about Hollywood. And that's what I stick with because I understand how it's been manipulated, how it was set up. I can go into, we don't need to start now because we're getting towards the end, but China has bought up most of our studios.
Yeah.
China owns STX, Legendary. They own all kinds of things besides ports, farmland. You were talking about
Land around military bases.
100%. They were being used as the arm for the elites who wanted to destabilize our country, just send us into socialism, and then implement their one world 2030 agenda, where they want one world government, one world healthcare, one world banking, that was what was supposed to happen. But if you think back, like when the Egyptians had the world and God Moses led everybody out, that was one world government. And he broke it so that we could be free. And then he gave the 10 Commandments to Moses and gave us our rules. And then he brought Jesus. Here's the law, the 10 Commandments you follow. And look at us. We bear false witness. Look at the news. Look at CNN. Look at Fox. Look at all of them.
They bear false witness
all the time.
1,000 times a day.
We kill each other. We covet each other's possessions because it's culture. Like I want a Porsche. If we just get back to the 10 Commandments and trying to live them in our own lives, that's the law that God gave us to live by. The AI probably recognizes if you follow these rules, you will find peace on this existence, this earth.
Well, that's what I've been told. And I, of course, want to see that for myself if I can. But it was fascinating to me to hear because I didn't expect it.
That's awesome.
But it makes a lot of sense.
It does. It's funny because a lot of times when we're testing things for stunts, like you think you have everything figured out. And I'd be like, I really don't know what's going to happen, but we're about to learn a lot. Like, did you see that? Oh God, that wasn't, we expect, okay.
That wasn't meant to happen.
That wasn't supposed to go that way, but that's kind of the same thing. You don't know until you're in it. So I have this vision of God moving across this earth. And I feel like right now, because I lived in China, I got to be lucky, as I talked about earlier in the interview. It's not the Chinese people that are bad. It's the governments, the people running those and controlling those people. Those people are enslaved.
Well, that's why China doesn't invade Taiwan. But it's not just because of the U.S. It's because they know if they take off their foot off the throat of their own people at home, that they're in danger of being overthrown.
I feel like I have a feeling that God is going to move throughout the CCP and destroy it, and I think the Chinese people are going to be freed, and Christianity is going to roll in China. I don't know why I have that feeling, but I do have that feeling. I just feel like it's time. They've been suppressed and under that regime for so long. God is moving. The remnant is here. We are seeing things in this time and place. God's putting people together like us. I mean, God put us together. I mean, God put all of our team together, and we're all walking with God. I mean, we're all praying before we do things. I mean, we all know that we can't do this without Jesus and without God. And if that offends you and you want to call me a white Christian nationalist, I don't care.
Hey, Mike, can I say something?
Sure.
Yeah.
I just want to say, first off, like my awakening, connecting all the dots, because I spent 7-8 years in Hollywood myself, and it was during COVID, the timing of COVID.
Oh, yeah.
And you've talked about that, how it was God's timing, because it brought a lot of people to a spiritual awakening. And that film, Out of the Shadows, the first one just connected all the dots in my mind. I remember arriving in Hollywood in 2002 and hearing about sex islands that the elite goes to. And I met Corey Feldman in South Africa on a film, and he told me about the pedophilia, that it's the most hidden thing. And then, there's also the casting couch, the Weinstein, the Skulls goes back to,
all of
it. Rock Hudson's first agent was a guy named Henry Wilson, who was known to have a bedroom attached to his office where he took young stars and, would, basically trade roles for sex. This has been going on.
I think it's a domination thing and a control thing.
Well, and I want to say that's what's so great about your testimony is that, and why this is all satanic, Luciferian, is that Satan wants to put us in bondage with shame. And that's where this blackmail thing is happening, and that's where it's all, and it's literally keeping people in bondage and enslaved to their, to put forward this programming. And then we have the cognitive dissonance of, I just think about all the people that are raised on Disney movies that that's part of their childhood, and they can't imagine, there's a darkness behind all this.
My wife, she gets so mad at me. She's like, I don't want to know anymore.
Yeah, because you're ruining everything.
That's what she says all the time. I just want to believe there's still good in here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, honey.
I know my husband and I will watch a movie and we'll be like, oh, that was such a great movie. And then we're like, do you think? And we were like, no. And Joe's like, I'm going to ask Mike. And I'm like, don't ask Mike. We know what he's going to say. He's going to say, yes, if it got to that level, some point they sold their soul.
They won't let you have that placement and access.
Yeah.
If they can't control you. And it's they either control you by money or your ego or whatever, but usually it's sex or drugs or some sort of
combination
of the two. There's some people that are really into the gay thing. There's some people that are really into the satanic thing, and there's a combination of both. And then
there's
levels.
the kids.
And see, that's the one. That's the one that gets me. When I think about them hurting children, it just makes me pissed. Because how do you look at that innocent little child? I used to always say when I had my kids, I was like, God, they're just like pure. It's like a child is like a glass of water that's completely clear and pure. And over time, it just gets a little more cloudy because we screw it up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The longer that glass sits there, the longer it gets cloudy. And I just want to keep, I look at my daughter's eyes or my other daughter's eyes, and they're crystal clear, and they're just they're wide-eyed, the way they look at you. Imagine the little kid looking at one of those pedophiles and they think you're good, and then they do all that stuff. Man, that just triggers me. I can't say what I would. You want to see me be a ninja? Put me in that room and let me.
Put me in that room with that guy. Well, Luke, you saw some of that, right?
Yeah. So I was telling Mike that early on I was propositioned to. I saw first off. Yeah, my first lunch with my new bosses at Warner Brothers. They took me to a restaurant in West Hollywood, very gay restaurant, and there was Kevin Spacey, and this was what I experienced, Kevin Spacey in a booth across from us with what looked like a 14 or 15-year-old kid in his lap, and I was just naive, fresh off the boat from Texas, and I was like, is this a gay restaurant, guys? You know, because it seems like that's a child over there in Kaiser Sose's lap, who I didn't know Kevin Spacey's name at that point.
And his Kaiser Sose.
Yeah.
Like, where are we?
Yeah, I mean,
what's happening here?
Yeah, and he was kissing on his neck. It was disgusting. I mean, it was just it made me sick, and that's what it was early on. I find out I'm the only straight guy on the show that was right on the Warner Brothers lot, and they knew I was. They called me Tex because I wore Wranglers and boots, and I was the weird one because I liked femalias, females. And it was just, they made me, they made me feel weird that I was a heterosexual. And they said, out here it doesn't matter. You can go both ways. It doesn't make you gay. And I said, yes, it does make you gay, in fact.
Bro, I'm born in Texas. If you, I am going to make a comment, I'll probably get burned.
Well, and that's where, and then later I was propositioned for a big role on a TV show that would change my life. And I could do movies after that. And I made it to the final cut, and it was between me and the guy that got it, and they said, we just want to F you, and you will never be in want. It was like, it was Jesus in the desert. Amazing. Being, propositioned, and you could do movies, you could do, but I think it would have been blackmail held against me.
I think they do that the first time, and they go, it's just this one time, you're good.
Because then they own you.
And then, oh, you want that, they dangle the carrot.
Yeah.
It's like they dangle the carrot.
Right.
Oh, you want this? You got to do that.
Right.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, you just get worse and deeper and deeper. And then all of a sudden you've given away your soul.
Yeah, well, then they pump you full of drugs and you do goodness knows what.
And then you're doing a Diddy party.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what's wild, Mike, is during COVID, I really felt a calling from God to speak out because I was I was a commercial director, and I'm a professional. I've been a professional propagandist, And
what's the name of the biggest commercial house in LA? Propaganda.
Yeah, well, there's an agency. Is it called Propaganda?
Yeah, well, there's Propaganda. Yeah. There was, Anonymous.
Yeah, well, and that's what they taught me in film school is how to make propaganda. They showed us propaganda.
Well, that was the name of one of the biggest commercial houses I used to do. You'd see their signs. They're yellow and black. They're all over LA. Anonymous, Propaganda. There's a couple other ones, but I did a lot of work for those guys.
But that's what was so wild is I heard a clear calling from God that speak out. This is your time, to speak out against all this, COVID, fear-based, fear. And it was like these campaigns that I know that just didn't pop up. And it was just people were 6 feet, stay safe, all stay home, stay safe. These were all, fear-based campaigns. And the same people, everyone was looking at these Hollywood elite actors that were, slaves to the program. They made the deal.
Yeah. And they punched their ticket.
Yeah.
And you get called to respond.
Yep.
And that's why I look at all these people that step up and speak up. They're just playing their role.
Oh, that's right.
They've got to do what they're
doing. And talk about that really, Mike, that they're beyond the on-screens, their public persona is still on the world stage, right? It doesn't just stop because they stop filming, right? These people may say they're Christians or this and that and do great things, but in the dark they're doing, and that's what I think.
Well, that's why you think about what does an actor do?
Yeah.
What does an actor do? He gets paid to lie to you. Yeah. Because most of them, heck, I'll be honest with you, half those actors that I know, and God, I'm sorry, but they don't even know who they are.
Yeah.
Well, by the time they get to be whoever they become, and they change roles all the time, they don't know who they are.
But Mike, isn't the god of theater the god of Dionysus?
I believe you're correct.
Whose role is to mask, right? Yeah. To hide who you are. And there's a famous interview where some of these actors are talking, and they talk about having to worship.
They talk about channeling. They channel this deity to help become the roles, and it's they call it different types of acting, methods, but it's
like,
they're literally channeling and
your
doing
method
black
acting, or doing the.
But they're channeling this satanic god.
Yeah.
And I believe it's I believe it's Dionysus. Look that up there, Luke, so that I don't have to be wrong. But and also, Luke, didn't they take you past on a street where there were transgender prostitutes on the street corner?
That was the same day that I saw Kevin Spacey. They took me up to it was Cahuenga and Santa Monica Boulevard, and there was a tranny there on the corner, and they all three asked me, Luke, have you ever been with a tranny? And I said, guys, I've told you I'm heterosexual, and they said, you got to try it. You get the chick with the D, and you get to play. Still get the boobs, and you get to play with the boobs. You get the D, and then they also
it's hard. It's hard for me because I think women are so beautiful. Like I don't even know. Like I just bro, how can you look at that hairy dude and think
exactly.
I want to get with that?
Exactly. I've got enough of my own.
I mean, bro.
Yeah.
I'm married and I've been off the market forever, but I'm just saying, like, I just don't understand when you see beautiful women. They're so beautiful. How do you not want to be with the girl?
Well, and Lara, this was like within the first week, everyone was saying Patrick Rush he's got a man crush on you. And he came up to me in the first week and he said, you don't know it yet, but you're my midlife crisis project. And I'm going to bring you onto the dark side. And I just kind of like laughed it off.
Who was he?
He was our casting director that also was getting me on this other show, but he was the casting director for our show, Everwood. I could name him, but anyway, he said, I'm going to take you to the dark side. And I said, if that means your D is getting anywhere near me, that's not happening, bro. So, I mean.
And how old were you then?
I mean, I was 22. I just finished playing college football, best shape of my life. And, they thought, I think I was this naive kid coming to.
Well, that's
to Hollywood from a ranch in Texas.
Well, think about what
from Dallas.
But think about what you know when you come there. You only know what you see on the screen, like movies.
Right.
Like and the biggest thing that kills me, and I try to tell people this, it's not the most talented people you see on these movies or musicians. You see the most talented people that were willing to be compromised.
That's who sold their souls.
Who was willing to do whatever it took to get the job. And I've been told straight up, you have to say, I'll do whatever it takes.
And think about some of these people coming from small town USA.
They have no idea.
They have no idea. And they're sold that this is normal. That's what they're trying to sell, that I'm the weird one because I like women. And it doesn't make you gay if you take part in these parties. And
Bro.
and if it doesn't, you're still yourself. This is what we do out here, and to get roles. And that's why what I was talking to Mike earlier about, you hear all these leading men are there's rumors that they're gay and they have their front wives, but they've done a lot of gay stuff to get where they are. That's most likely what is, so.
I've heard all that, and I know some of that's to be a fact for sure.
Yeah.
And I mean, look, those people made the deal or took the deal. And it's like one of those things where how important is being famous? How much are you willing to give up to, you want that? We'll give it to you, but you're going to give us something. It's not, I went there thinking, well, if I'm the most talented, I'm the best.
Then I'm going to
I'm going to make it. Well, yeah, in my world, because in stunts, we actually do the real stuff. So they needed
you're not faking it.
They needed guys to do what we did.
You had to be able to do it.
You are not part of any creative process, maybe except other than choreography or how to fall or where to fall.
You didn't have any say in anything.
You weren't doing anything with the story. As soon as I was told a long time ago, 2 rules: never get close to the actors, treat them as professionals, and never question the content, never comment on it. Like, I remember so many times I'm like, what are we doing today? And your director would come in and he'd do his thing and the actors would, I'm like, oh my God, this is the stupidest shit I've ever seen in my life. Like, what, you're going to put this on? Okay, I'm getting paid. I turned the care meter to 0. Where do you want me to fall? Okay, I'm going home. And I would just do my job.
Well, is it fair to everyone who's ever been a star in Hollywood to paint them with the same brush? I mean, did they all have to say that?
You can't. Okay. This is where you can get in a lot of trouble making a statement like
Right.
this. I'm in no way, just for the record, am saying that all these people did all this stuff, because I'm not. I'm saying I believe a lot of them have.
Yeah.
And I believe there are good people in Hollywood. But there are a lot of great people in Hollywood. And there might be a lot of great people that did get compromised, but they're good people. Because I can't
somebody
tell
can
you,
make a mistake. Somebody can be young. Somebody can be
100%.
drunk.
And then they regret it for the rest of their life. Or or you see them for a few years and then you never hear from them again.
Yeah.
Or they were drugged, like you said earlier, drugged and got put in a compromising situation and they have blackmail against them.
And a lot of,
And obviously, talking about gay people is not meant to be a slight on gay people.
No, I was a diver, like I said. I had 3 gay roommates. You should have heard the conversations that we had at night. I'm like, explain to me this. I don't understand it. Just tell me why. And they were like, I was born this way. It's the way I am. It's just who I am. I'm like, okay, but I don't understand that. But that's okay. Like I'm not judging you. I just don't.
Yeah, it's just there's a world in which we can be different.
100%. I got no problem. I mean, listen, like I said,
we can be different from each other. We can disagree.
Yeah, he was gay. I was like, I love that guy, and I mean, and take a bullet for him. But I didn't agree with him like jumping in the sack with his other buddy. Like that's not me, and that's okay. We can disagree on that topic. I mean. That's just
Lara. By the way, you were right. Dionysus is the
Greek
god of both wine and theater. But what's interesting is going back to they have they're on Hollywood Boulevard. They talk about Babylon all the time. I mean this is Babylonian. This is all goes back to Babylonian worship and all the demonic, right? The Luciferian doctrine that they cover.
Well, what did Satan do?
Secret societies and stuff like that.
He's a great deceiver.
Great deceiver, yeah.
And that's what I
mean. That's the whole thing with the god of Dionysus. It's about deception. It's about wearing that mask and channeling, this other personality into your performance. And it's just when you start to peel back these layers, it just gets darker and darker.
Hey, one other question I had about everybody does the
symbolism.
Evil eye, the symbolism.
Okay, let me address that because you see a lot of symbolism and people say, "Oh, they're throwing the signs or they're doing this, they're doing that."
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you something. If you've ever been on a real set with a real photographer, now I don't know. You can't prove any of this,
right?
Okay. When you're sitting there and they're shooting you, hey, put your hand on your hip. Hey, put your hands behind your head. Hey, cover one eye. Smile.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't know if that's just, or is it a coincidence, or maybe it's the same photographer. Maybe it's just things they do. I would say more than likely, there's a chance that is them giving signals. Sure. But I can't prove it. Neither can you. Neither can anyone.
No.
So you can't go, oh, they're for sure bad.
Here's the evidence.
I made a mistake of doing. Okay, what happens when you come out of the water in scuba? You make the okay sign.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Mike's throwing the 666.
Right.
Mike's a Satanist. No, I'm okay. You don't have to come get me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. One other thing I wanted to ask about, did you get much into revelation of the method, like how they put stuff out in films, like it's part of their
it's planning a narrative seeding.
Karmic, law that they show you, before they do it or whatever.
Well, supposedly they have to tell you in order for the spell to work.
Right.
Like you have to invite a vampire into your house or he can't come in.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, same with demons.
Same thing. You got to open a portal. What are the portals? Pornography, big portal. Drugs, big portal. Alcohol, big portal. So what do? Why is every country music song about drinking whiskey?
Mm-hmm. Why?
Getting drunk.
Why?
Because they want you drunk and having fun. Like,
you know how what you do about that? If you play it backwards, you get your truck back, you get your dog back, and you get your job back, and your job. Yeah, it's all you got to do with country music. You just got to play it backwards.
I mean, it's just
it all works out.
Well, one of the things, one of my biggest awakening moments when I was early on, I was listening to this song and I'm like, why do I like this song? It's a good song. And it was like, and I started listening to the words and I'm like, this is a horrible song. Mm-hmm. It's like, I'm broke as hell. I'm happy. And I don't need to question anything because we got each other. And I'm like, no. No, I don't want to be broke. And I love you. But I would like to have a damn yacht. And I would like to have some of the things that are nice. Like, I don't want to be broke looking at the half full glass. I want to be like, you know, I mean, I'm obviously didn't make that choice because now you obviously know what I did. But there, in your mind, you're hearing, I want to quote the song, but I don't want to out the artist because he's a friend of mine. And I pointed it out to him one day, like I did you. I was like, hey, have you ever listened to that song you did?
Yeah.
And literally, I had that same moment with him. He's like, I go, you didn't write that song, did you? And he goes, no, I didn't. I go, who gave you that song? And he told me. And I go, have you ever listened to the words of that? And he's like, no, not really. And I'm like, go back and listen to what you're telling the audience. Go back and listen to what you're subconsciously seeding.
Which is what?
Well, think about this. Have you ever get a song stuck in your head?
Yeah.
Happens all the time.
Yeah.
What if you're playing a song in your head, are you creatively thinking about anything? Are you connecting with the spiritual world or God and the Holy Spirit, things like that? No, because your song's going in your head and you're like, it's like a program that's playing in your head. And there's certain songs that I can't even stand.
Well, it's funny that you say that because the reason I know that about Dionysus is that there's a song my daughter would listen to. We have a game in the car where everybody, you know, gets to, well, a lot of kids and everybody gets to pick their song and we keep going around in a circle. And, you know, and my daughter played this song that I loved, and it was called The Cult of Dionysus.
Oh, wow. And
it's something about super glamorous and polyamorous. And I was like, wait a minute, polyamorous, like I'm pretty sure that, how old's my daughter? Why is she listening to this song? What is this song about? And I had this playing in my head over and over again. So I looked it up. Who is Dionysus? And that's where I learned about that. And then I started to look up the lyrics to the whole song. And it was really promoting a lifestyle of hedonism and Satanism and hypersexualization and no limits and, you know, just having sex with anything and everything. And I was like, okay, yeah, no, I'm not listening to that song anymore.
It's called like desensitization, like where they start to desensitize you over time to where, oh, well, it's not that bad, you know, or it's not.
Well,
you know,
it definitely becomes normal.
Frog in the pot.
The frog in the pot, and it's so funny you brought that up because I kept saying I was going to do the frog in the pot thing with Into the Light. I was like, if I do the frog in the pot with like all the people in a pot and I do the thing and I show them getting turned on and no one can jump out.
Yeah. No one's going to watch this movie.
No one's going to watch it. So, cause I was like, I'm going to make AI put the people in a pot and then I'll put a frog in.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Great idea.
Well, I didn't do it, but it was my little creative mind was like, people are like frogs in pots. You turn the water up so slow, they don't know it's hot.
Well, you know, in information warfare, that is a process called fractionalization.
Well, that's what we're dealing with right now. And
where they just incrementally move the needle, move the needle, move the needle.
Doesn't it tie in with MK Ultra and all that? I mean,
it's all part, but now MK Ultra has advanced so much. It's at the video games.
Yeah.
Of course.
Dude, it's so advanced now, you know, it's like, I'm like, get that off of your head. You're not putting that on. Like,
well, even, you know, you talked about the metaverse and putting on those 3D goggles. That's what they're doing in South Korea.
Oh, yeah.
I don't understand that. Like when I put those things on, I don't want to fall off that building. I hate that stuff. But our kids grow up being used to it.
I went to my friend's house and his two boys are in there doing their thing and I'm slapping them in the back of the head. They're like, they don't know what's going on because they're like, and I was just moving around them. I was like, slap them. And they thought it was each other. So then they start fighting and I just walked out of the room. But I was
You're that friend that the kids hope, oh, Mom, not that guy.
No.
Why is he coming back?
They never knew it was me. I would just pop them on the head. And then they would. Yeah.
Listen, Mike.
Yeah. We got to go.
The restaurants and the bars are closing. We have to go get some food.
I will not be part of your debauchery.
We have to go get some food.
Okay. Bring up those spirits.
Yes.
I will not let you you will not corrupt me with your spirits.
Somebody help me. I have two directors on set. I have two Hollywood guys here. Somebody rescue me. Okay, that is it.
Jesus.
That was a long interview.
That is it for this episode of Going Rogue with Lara Logan, Mike Smith, the amazing, the formidable, the talented, and the brave, very brave. Thank you for going rogue with us.
Can I say something to you? Thank you for having me on because no one else, Tucker, Alex Jones, Rogan, and all these guys would have never interviewed me, and they talk about all the stuff that I exposed, and you had the courage and the audacity to bring me on, and I just
Well,
wanna thank you.
hopefully, all of them, because I know Tucker and I know Alex, and I don't know Joe yet. Hopefully soon, but one day. But hopefully they'll have you on, because you do have. I mean, we could have sat here for a few more hours, and there's a lot more to talk about. And we need to have you back, because we didn't get into 6th generation warfare.
Oh yeah, well that's the clones. So we started that. We won't go into it, but the clones. So 6th generation warfare is the AI they run on your clone to manipulate you in the physical domain.
That's right. And we are now moving from information warfare, which is 5th generation, into 6th generation warfare.
And once
we
it
need
comes
to know how to
sentient, we're
defend
into 7th.
ourselves.
That's right. And then, but it gets worse.
So I will finish with this. A friend of mine recently was having trouble with their with one of their kids who was cutting. They got into trouble for watching stuff online. And I talked to my son about this problem. And you know what he said to me? He said, Mom, he said a lot of smart things, but one of them was, he's like, maybe you can talk to your friend. And I said, why? And he said, because, you can't isolate your kids from this. I said, what do you mean? He said, well, you got to teach them self-defense. And if you isolate them, they don't learn how to fight back.
That's really good.
Right?
That's really good.
That's from a 16-year-old.
Oh, that's awesome.
I know.
Well, I mean, martial arts is a lifestyle.
Okay, from the Ninja Mike Smith, and on behalf of your better half, Wendy Smith, one of my favorite people, thank you for joining us. Please like, please share, please subscribe, please donate whatever you cannot, whatever. Do what you can to support our journalism, whatever you think the show is worth, because we can't do it without you.